Hi everyone, welcome back. We're now at chapter 10, the last chapter of the series, and today I'll be covering a very important topic on data security and protection. Now we've been working day and night on our data spreadsheets, and if just one fine day your data worksheet gets landed in the hands of a wrong user, then I believe the consequences will be crazy and will be disastrous. Okay, so in order to make sure that you protect your data properly and exercise the necessary data security measures, I will be showing you in this chapter how you can protect your data. So let's not waste time and get started, alright? So right now you're looking at a spreadsheet we've been looking at for quite some time. Let's say you want to protect your workbook. Okay, in order to protect your workbook, what you need to do is click on the top left corner, click on File, and then click on Protect Workbook, and then encrypt with password. Okay, so let's say you want to key in the password, let's say we call it password 123, okay? PASSWORD 123, okay. And you got to repeat it again, PASSWORD 123. Okay, so basically that's it. The workbook is now protected. If I close it, and then I just click Save Changes, and then if I open it again, it's going to ask me to key in the password. So if this worksheet gets landed in any hands of any wrong users, you can just use this method to protect your workbook, and it's going to be very difficult for the person to guess your password. And as a piece of advice as well, make sure your password is not something that's very easily figured out, but use something a little bit more complicated so that it's going to be much more difficult to break the password barrier. Okay, so that's one way to protect your workbook. Another way is to limit the functionalities of the workbook to users. Okay, how you're going to do that is basically the same thing. Click on File, click on Protect Workbook, but then instead of encrypting the entire workbook, you want to just limit the functionalities of the spreadsheet. So it's actually Protect Current Sheet, and you can actually just put in a password again. We call it maybe just simply password. And then you choose what functionalities would you want to allow users to do. And it's sort of like this whole stretch of functionalities in this list over here. Maybe you just allow him to delete columns, etc., like editing objects, and then you just select a fixed amount of parameters that you can allow users to use. So once that's done, just click OK, and then you re-enter the password. That's it. You've limited the functionalities of the worksheet. And if you wanna mark this workbook as final, what you can also do is click on File, click on Protect Workbook, and then click on Mark as Final. So the moment you mark it as final, this pop-up message will appear and will tell you that this document is already now marked as final, and indicating it that editing is complete, and this is the final version. If people were to edit it, there will be a prompt-up reminder that stops them from doing so. Okay, so when you click on it, it's going to show the document as marked as final. So the author has marked this workbook as final, and it's going to discourage you from making any editing or any changes to the document. Okay, so to protect your workbook, these are the measures you can take to make sure that you have added in the right amount of security measures to prevent any form of leakage of confidential data. Alright, so that's pretty much about it for this chapter and this whole series. We touched on quite a couple of topics within this past 10 chapters, learning the basic foundations of Excel, getting comfortable working with data. But most importantly, this couple of topics will build you a very, very, very strong preliminary foundation working with huge data sets. Okay, so stick around and join me in the next intermediate series where I'll be covering more on data tables, pivot table analysis, and to get our hands dirty on spreadsheet analysis. I will see you in the next chapter.